Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, I'm really glad you joined us. Today we're exploring a mind-blowing topic that's revolutionizing the gaming industry. How artificial intelligence is now being used to write game stories and generate dynamic dialogues in real time. This isn't just the future of gaming, it's already happening. Let's set the stage. Traditionally, game narratives have been handwritten by writers and designers. Each dialogue line, every twist in the story, and all the character interactions were meticulously scripted. That approach works great, especially in linear games, but it also has limitations. Once you've played through a story, you know what's going to happen next. The characters say the same things, react the same way, and follow a fixed path. But what if the story changed every time you played? What if the characters responded to you differently based on your actions? What if the game could actually write its own story as you go? This is where AI comes in. Artificial intelligence, especially through techniques like natural language processing and machine learning, can now be used to create procedural narratives, stories and dialogues that aren't just pre-written, but generated on the fly based on your in-game behavior. One of the best applications of this is in open-world games. These types of games are known for freedom. You can go wherever you want, do whatever you want, and interact with dozens, sometimes hundreds of characters. But historically, even in these massive worlds, dialogues tend to be shallow or repetitive because there's just too much content for writers to manually create. AI changes that. Imagine walking into a town in an RPG, and instead of hearing the same repeated lines from townsfolk, each NPC actually talks to you differently. Maybe someone recognizes you from a past quest. Another's angry because of something you did that affected their family. Someone else offers a rumor that's tied to a real event in the game world. Not because it was scripted, because the AI analyzed the world's state and generated a conversation. That's procedural storytelling. It makes the game world feel alive, personal, and reactive. But how does this work? At the core of it, AI systems use large data sets and algorithms to understand language, tone, and structure. They can then generate unique lines of dialogue that match the personalities of in-game characters. These systems often rely on character profiles, emotional states, player history, and current world events to tailor responses. It's like giving every character their own little brain. For instance, if you're playing a morally gray character, and you've done a mix of good and bad actions, the AI could make some NPCs question your intentions, while others respect your pragmatism. These reactions aren't just cosmetic. They can change quests, open or close opportunities, or even create new storylines that didn't exist before. The biggest benefit here is replayability. No two playthroughs are ever the same. The AI ensures that conversations and story arcs adapt to your unique path through the game. Let's take a closer look at dynamic dialogue. Natural language generation, or NLG, is a branch of AI that focuses on turning data into human-like speech or text. In gaming, this can be used to generate character lines that are grammatically correct, emotionally relevant, and context-aware. Combined with voice synthesis, or text-to-speech, these lines can be spoken out loud with convincing tone and emotion. Some AI systems also track emotional arcs. It means characters not only respond to what you do, but they remember how they feel about you. So if you save a character from danger early in the game, they might later speak to you with more warmth, trust, or even affection. On the other hand, betray them, and you might see coldness, anger, or revenge. This kind of emotional consistency is what turns a good story into a great one. There's also a rising trend in AI-directed quests. Instead of having a fixed number of pre-designed quests, the AI can generate missions, goals, challenges based on world conditions, your progress, or your behavior. These AI-generated quests come with their own mini-stories, characters, and outcomes, often blending so seamlessly into the main narrative that you wouldn't know they weren't handcrafted. Of course, this doesn't mean game writers are going extinct. Far from it. In fact, AI tools are becoming collaborators to writers. They can be used to suggest branching dialogue options, generate lore content, or prototype story arcs quickly. Writers then curate and refine the output, ensuring quality and coherence. Think of AI as a co-pilot in the writing room, fast, creative, and tireless. And just imagine the possibilities for indie developers. Instead of needing a huge writing team to flesh out a massive game world, A small dev studio can use AI tools to populate their universe with meaningful content, making their games feel richer and more alive than ever before. Let's talk real-world examples. There are already a few titles testing this technology. AI Dungeon, for example, lets you play through endless stories where the AI responds to your text input with fresh, unique narrative continuation. It's like Dungeons & Dragons with a robot dungeon master. Games like Mount and Blade or Skyrim mods are experimenting with procedural dialogue systems that react to your actions, alliances, and moral choices. But the Holy Grail would be a full open-world RPG where no two players ever experience the same exact narrative. Now, what are the challenges? First off, coherence. AI can be great at improvising, but it doesn't always keep track of long-term narrative threads. A character might reference a quest you never completed or contradict themselves later. Developers have to build systems to manage memory, consistency, and context over long story arcs. Then there's tone and voice. If a medieval peasant suddenly starts talking like a modern teenager, it breaks immersion. So developers need strong style guides and character profiles to keep AI-generated content grounded in the game's world and culture. There's also a risk of generating inappropriate or offensive content. AI needs careful moderation, filters, and ethical frameworks to ensure it stays within acceptable bounds. No one wants a game that accidentally generates something problematic. But despite these issues, the potential is enormous. AI-generated narratives could bring back the sense of wonder and unpredictability that made early RPGs so magical, only now with the intelligence to adapt to us. Imagine a future where your choices don't just change the ending, but rewrite the entire journey, where characters remember your story like a real person would, where lore, rumors, drama, and friendships emerge organically. A world where you're not just playing the story, you're co-creating it. And it doesn't stop at RPGs. This tech could apply to survival games, sims, strategy games, even online multiplayer titles. Imagine a player-driven world where AI acts as the bridge between players, creating evolving storylines based on collective actions. AI could also power in-game journalists who report on recent events, proceduralized legends, or even a bard who sings songs about what you did last night in-game. It's storytelling, redefined. So to wrap it up, artificial intelligence isn't just about graphics or mechanics anymore. It's becoming the soul of the story. Procedural storytelling and dynamic dialogues represent one of the most exciting frontiers in gaming. Whether you're a player or a developer, it's time to start thinking beyond scripted quests and imagine a world where the game writes itself around you. If that's something you'd love to experience, drop a comment below. What game would you want to see with fully AI-driven stories? Would you trust an AI with your narrative? Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really helps the channel. And if you want to dive deeper into the future of AI in gaming, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.